Hello YouTubers, subscribers, and friends. Welcome to my channel. I've been out here trying to tinker with my van to try to figure out, get that cooling fan noise to work again. And figure all I gotta do is take that off, take this off, and I can look right at the cooling fan. But I can't get it to make that noise again, no matter what. But I thought that my oil sending unit was, or oil sending switch was leaking, and I found out that it's not leaking. The oil sending unit is not leaking, and can't see, you can't get to where it's leaking. I see where it's leaking though, but you have to crawl under the van and look. So let's get under there. Earlier today I sprayed it and cleaned it all off with water because my wife was like, "Are you going to clean that oil leak up?" Because it's leaking on the carport here. So I cleaned that up. I've been waiting for it to dry, and then I came out here and start tinkering with it again. And I had the car running here so I could see if this was leaking. And there's my oil sending unit there. It's dry as a bone. It's clean as a whistle. Filter is clean. I cleaned everything off, dried everything off before I started it. And I was wondering why there's oil on this side over here. And it was like, if it was an oil sending unit, it would have to be shooting out big time for it to get oil over here. And it's not. I ran it for 10 minutes and then I saw the leak. And the leak is right up. Let me see if I can zoom in on the leak. It's not going to focus. It's right up there. I was under here as I was running. You can see it start to drip. And I don't know what that is. It's dripping. It's really hard to see if it's focusing. I don't know what that is. It looks like it's a bolt of some kind. I'm not sure, but that's what's causing all this mess right here. And then it gets down onto the frame rail here, and then it causes all this greasy stuff right here, and it drips on over here, so making them think it's not the drain plug. See, I dried that up, degreased it, cleaned it up, let it run, and it's not leaking over here. It's that stupid thing right there. Not this one, but the one behind it. And I don't know what that's called, but it's at the front of the engine. I need a brighter light, I think. Focus. So it's definitely not the oil sending unit, even though I call a dealership and they got it for 21 something dollars, cheaper than eBay, or cheaper than what AutoZone would charge me if they had to order it. The oil filter is definitely not loose, but I think over time why that oil filter came loose is the oil just drips down and gets over there, and it just gets in there and loosened it up. But yeah, the top of the alternator, if you can see it right there, it's kind of greasy too. There's the back of the alternator. So I can't fix that myself. I don't have the tools to need. I think that's going to require pulling the motor out to get to that, or pull the whole front end of the radiator and all this other crap to get to that. That's my predicament right now. Or I just deal with the oil leak. But yeah, this was one of the things, you know, you think you can trust people on their word. This was one of the things that my wife asked the guy, "Is there any leaks?" Because when he came to my house and he left it running, I wanted to shut it off and see if there was any leaks, but I don't know. Something changed the subject what we were talking on, and I didn't shut the car off. But it's not a really bad leak. It just, after you shut it off, it drips a little bit. And I think over time it just builds up under this frame rail and makes it look like a bigger one, because this is like a big flat surface area right here, and it goes all the way down the frame rail there. But yeah, like I said, this oil pressure unit thing is not leaking. I told my wife, I don't know. I've had cars that are 30, 40 years old that still have the original oil pressure units, and I'm like, they do leak, but I didn't think a 2004 would be leaking, and sure enough, my gut feeling was telling me I'm right, because that's not leaking. That's clean as a whistle, because I cleaned everything. I degreased all this earlier this afternoon and sprayed it out with a water hose, and I didn't get on this side and spray this side down, but yeah, that's right above the alternator. It's like a little Allen head bolt or something. I don't know what that is. So I took the air cleaner snout out, whatever you want to call that, so you can see down in here. The problem is, the good news and the bad news is, the good news is it's not the oil pressure sending unit. That's still dry. It's not the oil filter loose. The bad news is I did find the leak. And another way to get to the leak is take everything here completely out of the car or lift the motor up somehow. But I can't even show you from this side, but right there's the alternator, and you can see where it's greased. It's getting grease on it, dripped on it. The leak is from up here. I can't get the camera down in and show you, but yeah, there's the alternator right there, and it's like the leak is in this area, but underneath, and it's really weird because what I see is like it's flush on the motor, and there's like a bolt here, or maybe the bolt is missing. I can't tell. I don't have my glasses on. I have to review the video, but yeah, it just, what happens is it drips, and it drips down in there onto that. There's like a tray right here at the very bottom. I should get a better view right here. Yeah, see that tray that runs all here, and that right down there. There's a tray, and then the frame rail, which is up here. You can see underneath the actual pulleys there, the frame rail. It builds up a puddle of oil, so the oil leak looks worse than what it actually is. I just checked the oil right now. It's completely full. It hasn't even dropped, not even a slightest bit. But man, if that alternator goes bad, I ain't got the slightest idea how to get that alternator out. There's absolutely no room here, no room here. I've never owned a Kia before. Don't know anybody's ever owned a Kia, so I can't even ask anybody who owns a Kia what it's like to work on these. But yeah, it's impossible. It's like it's somewhere in this spot, but up underneath something's cracked, or a bolt's missing, or something is like this, and then a bolt in the middle. I don't know. It's crazy. But my wife's like, yeah, sell the van, get rid of it, because I haven't the slightest idea how to fix it. I mean, I can fix things. If it has bolts and take it off, I can always reverse what I did to take it off to put it back on. Take off the oil, put on the new leaky thing. That's why I was hoping it was the oil pressure unit, but it's not. I can't get that stupid fan either to make that noise again. I'm pretty sure it was the cold weather. But even now it's like 62 degrees. It's cold out here, but I get to working on cars. I don't feel the cold until I stop. But yeah, if anybody else has any idea, if you can see, tell what that is that's leaking. Like I was telling my wife, it's not a bad leak. It just drips. Like right now, I crawled under, look, it's not dripping anymore. It only drips a little bit at a time when the motor's warmed up, and then you shut it off and it drips. Let me see, it's crawling right here from the ground. See, there's no oil. There's just water from where I sprayed it earlier that's still in the frame rails. That's water. There's no oil here on the ground anywhere. But yeah, I'm stumped myself. I can either find a mechanic, take it to the shop, and have a mechanic look up in there and tell me what it is and how much it would cost to fix it, if it's even worth fixing this 2004. Or, like I told my wife, just ignore it and just keep adding oil every time the oil's low. But she's like, you're ruining my carport. I'm like, it's not the perfect carport anyways. I'll just keep parking in the same spot over and over and just put cardboard under there, and that'll be that. You know, that's the easy, quick fix, no money fix. And just drive it till it breaks, and then go buy another car. Or do I want to invest the money into this car? Because I don't keep cars very long. And even though this car is nice to drive, it runs nice and drives smooth. It's extremely roomy, more roomy than my Lincoln Navigator. It's just, you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. Like, do you want to invest a lot of money into something like this, or do you just want to drive it to the brakes and then, you know, throw it away? Throwaway cars, recycle cars. I don't know. I haven't come to a conclusion yet. I'm going to do more research. But like I was just telling my wife, I can't find anything on YouTube for 2004 Kia Sedonas. I'm not finding anybody have problems with them. Even all the research I did before I actually bought this had nothing but positive research. People saying that these things are freaking hard to kill. I kind of believed it because when I had it, I drove it a week before I even bothered to check the oil, and it only had a quart of oil in it. So, who knows, man? Who knows what will happen? Maybe I'll just do a test and see how long it lasts before it breaks, and then move on to the next vehicle. I don't know. If anybody got any ideas or comments, leave them below. Let me know what you think. And if you're new to the channel, well, hit that subscribe button. Don't cost anything. It's free. And I'm gone. Get going.